The Creality K1 versus K1 Max printer. These are the new flagship printers from Creality, but which one should you get? Now last week I did basically just a live reaction to the announcement trailer, but this week I just want to take a closer look at the differences between the two printers because I didn't really showcase that in the video. So let's skip past the long intro and get right to the comparison. Okay, so I'm just going to be looking at the K1 versus the K1 Max. Just not a huge amount of differences, but there's enough that it's worth looking at, and maybe it'll help you decide and help me decide because I'm thinking about it too, which printer to get of the two. So first and obvious, we have the build volume, hence the name Max. The Max is going to be bigger. So the build volume of the K1 is 220 by 220 by 250 millimeters. So that is on par with the Ender 3. It is the same build volume. I have a build plate here from an Ender 3, so it measures at, so the build plate itself is 235, but the actual build volume, like the printable space, is also 220. So that's a comparison. And then the K1 Max is 300 by 300 by 300. So, but there is the actual build volume. Build plate might be a little bigger. And that compares to the Ender 3 S1 Plus, so that's the same volume as this one. So you probably have an Ender 3, everyone has one to be honest, but there's a good comparison of the size so you know what you're getting. And then product dimensions, obviously bigger build plate, you're going to have a bigger printer overall, so that's what it's going to take up in your workshop or work area. Again, weight and all that is also going to be more. And then we get to things like the printing speed. So this is where it's very similar, uses the same technology. We have 600 millimeters per second, acceleration 20,000, and yeah, so through here it's all the same. And then we get to the extrude, oh no, sorry, not the extruder, that's not the difference. We get to the leveling mode. So the leveling mode on the K1 is hands-free auto leveling, like you're probably familiar with, and then the K1 Max has the dual hands-free auto leveling. So that is basically just the LiDAR. It's going to be doing an extra check, so double check, dual hands-free auto leveling, to give you even more accurate leveling. So that is a nice feature to have. And then we also have, this is a small thing here, file transfer. So you have Ethernet here as an option on top of the Wi-Fi and USB. So I don't know, some people might like that, and it's an option, so that's something to consider. And then we get to the AI camera and the AI LiDAR. So it is an optional thing on the K1. You can upgrade it, so that's good. The AI camera, that'll be so you can monitor on your phone, which is really nice to have. And the AI LiDAR, so that is technology using lasers, and it's going to give you a very consistent extrusion, because like across corners and stuff where the accelerations change, it'll kind of give you, it'll analyze it and give you the most accurate layers possible. So nice option, nice that you can upgrade to it. And then going down, so this is where I have a wild theory, like any good YouTuber, with zero evidence to back it up. This might seem really boring, but rated power 350 watts versus 1,000 watts. Now that's quite a big difference. Now you're gonna want higher watts to drive the higher heated bed. That's pretty obvious, but it's like a huge leap from 350, like almost 3 times as much. Now, one of the benefits, this is not speculation, you have more headroom to do upgrades. You'll be able to power whatever you need to power. I'm not sure what this is going to be in the future. I'm sure there'll be third-party mods and all kinds of stuff. Creality's kind of had a history of that, so that's a pretty safe bet. Here's my wild conspiracy. Take it with a grain of salt. I'm wondering if they're going to do any kind of AMS, like automated material system, like multicolor printing, multi-material, and this would give them the headroom to add that on in the future. Now, there's no confirmation of that. This is my conspiracy, because if you take 1,000 watts for the 300 by 300 bed, compare that to the CRM4, which has a massive 450 by 450 build volume with only, where is it? 800 watt power supply. So this is way more and kind of excessive for the size of the bed. So that is just one of my little ideas, conspiracies, if you will. But other than that, I think that is it for the differences. Not huge again, but that power supply leads me to believe there could be something more coming. And there's just the looks look pretty much the same on the outside. Can't really tell the scale, but obviously the K1 Max is bigger. And then price. And so the K1 Max goes for $999, whereas the K1 is $599. And I bet if you add on the LiDAR and the AI camera, you're bumping this up to fairly close. I can't imagine they're cheap. So I don't know. I might get the K1 Max because this is not huge. The K1, it's, you know, Ender 3 size, which it's good, it's functional, but if you're gonna go with the new big system, go with the big one, you know. Anyways, that's it for the differences. So are you planning on getting one? And if so, which one are you planning on getting? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching. Leave a like if you liked the video, consider subscribing, and I'll see you next time.